Good morning to everyone. Why is it that nobody says good morning to me back there? The Sustainable Development Goals aim for a combination of economic development, environmental sustainability, and social inclusion. But that is not the whole story. The language and content of the Sustainable Development Goals is framed by means of the metaphor of a journey, and more specifically, a journey to dignity. The United Nations Secretary General's recent call to action to transform the world beyond 2015 is a call to finish the job begun with the Millennium Development Goals. Actually, the synthesis report is entitled, I quote, "The Road to Dignity by 2030, Ending Poverty, Transforming All Lives, and Protecting the Planet." This call signals some profound interconnectedness among values the world cherishes. In other words, the Sustainable Development Goals do not stand on their own. They are part of an order, from the Latin ordo, which in turn can only be sustained through peace. The intuition of the framers of the United Nations pillars in terms of peace and security, the first pillar, justice and development, the second pillar, and the third pillar being human rights in terms of individual liberty, personal equality, and life in dignity, articulated this incontrovertible discovery for pluralistic and democratic societies to flourish. In other words, no peace and security without justice and development, but no justice and development without respect for human rights in terms of individual liberty, personal equality, and human dignity. For our purpose, in this short presentation, we may state that no lasting fulfillment of Sustainable Development Goals will be feasible without the peg of dignity, freedom, and solidarity. They lead to peace and prosperity. I would like in this short presentation to submit to your consideration few core ideas. The first, the moral foundations for Sustainable Development Goals gained to be brought into a global conversation for a clear vision and implementations of the goals and their targets. Two, Sustainable Development Goals are part of a cluster of interrelated, interdependent, and indivisible values, to use a terminology that in the global human rights community is generally applied to human rights themselves. Third, the foundations for the need for sustainable development is human dignity, which is, according to the UN Special Rapporteur on Freedom of Religion or Belief, is not just a value to be ranked among other values, but a principle that seems to undergird values promoted both in secular and religious societies. The idea of overlapping normative consensus in reference to the importance of human dignity has gained considerable ground.